Hello, this is Nas from NB Network Lessons. Hope everyone's doing okay and in high spirits. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Today's lesson, physics lesson 29, is going to be the continuation of lesson 28, in which, in my last problem, what we did was that we said, okay, there is a projectile motion, a ball was thrown tossed up in the air, and it had a projectile motion and it landed somewhere on the x-axis. What we did was that we picked 2 points on that projectile, point A and point B, and then we have coordinates of point A, which is right here, 5 kilometers going this way. Actually, yeah, 5 kilometers going this way on x-axis, and then 2 kilometers on y-axis. Okay, and then we have b coordinate also, which is 8 kilometers away from x-axis and 1 kilometer in the y direction. So then we said, okay, let's go ahead and see if we can find velocity along x-axis and velocity along y-axis, because anytime when you have a projectile motion which goes like this, when you toss a ball up in the air and it goes like this, there is a vertical push, and then there is a horizontal push, and the projectile motion is combination of those two components. That component could be force, that component could be acceleration, that component could be electric field, that component could be magnetic field. But the key over here is to remember is that anytime when you see a projectile motion which is going like this, there is a push in x direction and there is a push in y direction. So what we did was that we calculated v average along x axis by saying xb minus xa over delta t, which is given 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds for the ball to go from point A to point B. All right. Similarly, we calculated v average y, which is basically the coordinate yb, 1 kilometer, minus ya, and then we came up with negative 0.5 kilometers per second, which basically means that this is basically has more push horizontally and basically slowing down or going down. That is what negative 0.5 kilometer per second represents for the y coordinate. Now my next question is, can you find the magnitude and direction of that vector? So that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to find magnitude and direction of this vector, the one which is in blue. So how do we do that? What we do is that the formula for that, let me actually erase that a little bit. So go ahead and make a snapshot of this if you want to, but I'll go ahead and delete that. And then we will work on find magnitude and direction of this vector. I'm talking about this vector right here. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, it's pretty straightforward. Magnitude V. I have these two bars because magnitude is absolute value and we want that in positive, is equal to V average x along x square plus V average along y-axis square, and then under root of this. All right. Basically, I'm using Pythagoras theorem. Okay. This is basically, if you think of it, this is hypotenuse square. Anytime when you have a right angle triangle like this, right, you have hypotenuse, you have base, and you have perpendicular, or you can call it altitude. All right. So then the Pythagoras theorem says hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square, right? And then we can do this. We can say h is equal to p square plus base square under the root. So that is exactly what I'm doing right here. So then if we calculate that, plug in the values, what we will see is we will have 1.5 square. We calculated that from lesson number 28, plus we have negative 0.5 square. Okay. If you solve this further, this becomes 2.25 plus 0.25, and then you get, if you solve this, the answer is 1.58 kilometers per second. So basically what I'm saying is that ball from point A to point B has an average velocity of 1.5 kilometers per second. Clear? Now the second part of the same question is find the angle, find the direction. So how do we do that? Let's go ahead and dive into that. And I'm sure that you guys will understand that. Let me go ahead and erase this, and then we'll show you how that's done. It's not that bad at all. You just have to use trigonometry a little bit in here, and you should be good to go. Okay. So now basically we're saying find the angle. Okay. All right. And I'm talking about this angle right here. Okay. So let me draw this kind of like, make it a little big in a clear picture. So let's say you have this as an x-axis. Okay. This is your vector. Okay. This is your point A. This is your point B. This is what I have drew again right here. Okay. So clear, this right here is basically this, the one in blue, the vector. Okay. And then we have this base, and this is perpendicular. And this is the point B, which represents right here on the original projectile. So now I ask you, what is tangent? What is tangent? Tangent is perpendicular over base. Perpendicular over base. Okay. So that is what tangent is. So in this case, what I can say is tangent theta is equal to perpendicular over base. What is perpendicular in this case? Perpendicular we calculated right in the last section was negative 0.5, and what was base? We calculated in the last, I just erased it, 1.5. Okay. So then tangent theta is equal to, we can safely say, this right here is negative 0.3, no, 0.0333. All right. Now, if I just want to find theta, what can I do to do that? Well, what I can do is I can bring this tan on this side and it'll become inverse. So then we have tangent inverse of negative 0.0333. And when you solve this, plug it in your calculator, you will see the angle theta is negative 1.90 degrees. So what does that negative means? Negative means this is below x-axis. Okay, so the orientation is like this. Let's say you have x-axis and you have y-axis. If you anytime when you measure the angle, you have to go like this, anti-clockwise. So I go from here to here, 90 degrees. I go here to here, 180, here to here, 270, and then come back 360 degrees. So in this case, this angle, negative 1.90, is like this, below x-axis. Okay, and that makes sense because it is going in this direction. The vector is going in this direction. So hope this makes sense to you. um, let it sink in, watch it a couple of times, it'll make sense to you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to clarify things for you. And also don't, don't forget to share this, because sharing is caring. I hope you will do that for me. And also, if you like the contents, and only if you like the contents, please give me a like. Thank you.